So hi, so this for third phase, we are starting to import our modules. We start getting our elements here into the scene and starting to get organized with your assets and creating these folders. So that's really important, and then that's what you want to focus on. If you have these folders, models, scenes, and textures. Actually, it's not textures. It's going to be uh, materials, let's say. So materials, that will be kind of useful at the end to bring in. So this is always organized by alphabetic order. So if you want to organize it differently, you just put a number in front. But on this case, on the hierarchy, this is where you can, similar to turn on and off everything, or specifically, it just works like a bit like, locking layers and making them invisible. In this case, is the lock, so you cannot choose. Now you cannot choose the model. You are choosing the plane, but so it works a bit like that. So we need to organize this. And as you see, when we brought our model, and it was FBX format, so I'm going to say model or building. So it starts to creating those elements, but they come off with a lot of things attached. So all of them, as you can see, start to become with columns and everything that was kind of imported. And I imported these elements, as you can see, and they come all together into one element. But if you do it if you import it as FBX, once you go down here, basically you can select the objects independently, and this is what is called hierarchy, and that's what we need to organize now. You can see that this is a package, so by the symbol, and these ones are independent objects, which comes like with this icon of the cube. We don't need the layers, but these objects also come in layers, so I'm going to just bring them to the main building. And if you just drag and drop, it just said you cannot drag because it has the children, so you'll change the hierarchy. So what we need actually to do is, if you want to change the hierarchy here on this on this package, if you right click on that and unpack prefab. So if you unpack prefab, then now it becomes, as you see, it has its own hierarchy still, but you can it's within, it's unpacked. There's an hierarchy and one link. So if you select, it will select all of them. But if you now can select them independently and drag them. So I'm going to select again that object and bring it in to that top layer. So now it starts becoming organized, right? So you can independently, those objects is going to be the canopies, and there's going to be a third one. If you don't know which one it is, you can go select it here as well, and it will pop up. So, and now you can drag it back there. So all the other objects are the columns, right? So here, so I'm going to get, I'll let them be grouped, columns. And just like this, we have a reference. So we have the building, object 1, object 2, and it could be canopy 1, 1, 2, and 3, and you have the columns. Now we have these things, which is the front views and the layers, which come, actually, if you go here to the top corner, you start seeing the layers that I imported. In this case, it was from Rhino, the default layer, and that came in. So in this case, well, actually, we don't need it. We can delete it, and you just right-click, delete. And again, there are other cameras that you actually don't need. This is the front camera, as you see, because the Z, the vertical axis in CAD software is Z, but in the computer game is Y, so that's why it comes sideways. Actually, we don't need any of these top, right, left cameras. So actually, we are going to select all of these and delete. You could edit them, but in this case, we don't need those, and we are going to use our own camera, which is the main one, which is here. And we are going to bring it up, as you can see. And now, in order to start getting a bit of kind of a good order. So some house cleaning is going to be and try to organize these objects into kind of into a different hierarchy. So for that, and in order to organize those things, you can create empty hierarchy, and it comes as a default as game object. And in this case, you can say background, or background, let's say, and start putting things that are not part of these elements. So background is going to be the plane, let's say. I'm going to put it on the background. I'm going to put the directional light on the background as well. And again, it's just for order, because at the end there's going to be many elements attaching, and the main camera, which is this one. This is going to be useful because once you do VR, there's going to be other cameras involved, so this will give you some order. So that's background. I'll use building as well to get that element order, and I'm going to add more elements, which are going to be camera, which will go connect our new cameras that will come in for VR, basically. Camera and effects. Create empty, and this can work on different elements. Could be assets that we bring in, or anything of those. So again, it works in alphabetic order, but if you want to have a different order, you put 1, 2, 3, and it will organize like that. So now, in order that we have those things in the scene, and obviously they don't have anything, nothing is attached to it. As you can see, the only things that are attached are these parts. And what we are going to bring in is more assets in order to start our model. So for that, you go to the asset store, and again, this is important that you are logged in your account, because this will give you access to whatever you have. And this is the splash page. So top asset topics for new asset store users. You can download other elements. You can download games, and you can use those games, deconstruct those games, and use them in your models. Again, there's all of these things that are here is basically linked to the web. So if you go to the asset store on the web in Chrome, if you go asset store, if you log in here, if you go to asset store and if you sign in your account, it will go exactly to the same type of splash screen that you're getting. So if you go sign in with your account, basically you'll get into the asset store. Here we go. It's exactly as you see the same page that you are in. So back to Unity. In this case, what we actually want from assets is the standard assets. That will give you access to some tools that, sorry, not Studio. Standard assets. Okay, if you search that and put assets, here we go, and this one. So that's the one you want to download. So basically, you click on there. You can download it also from the web. If you download it already from within Unity, within this project, it will be basically attached to your project. So we'll click download. Again, focus on your account, and it starts downloading, and we'll continue from there.